Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good evening. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful day. For those of y'all who are starting your day, hopefully you go and kick that day in the butt. For those of y'all who are just ending your day, hopefully it was a positive one and you did everything you needed to do and more, right? Hopefully you guys did good. We are going to be talking about something that I think that a lot of you guys, I put up a poll. I asked you guys specifically, wanted to hear your thoughts on if you wanted me to cover specific stories. And I heard you guys. So this one is a bit, well, there's already been a lot of coverage on this story, on this case, with NICOLA Bulley. But I felt, because I listened to you guys, I heard you guys, I heard y'all out. You know, I heard you guys say what you wanted to see and what you wanted me to cover. So I said, okay, you know what? I have some other things I want to cover today, or not today, but there's some other cases or some updates on a particular case I've been watching and listening to and keeping an eye on for a minute now. But I'm putting that on the side for right now to give you guys this story. Now, I know a lot of you guys have been very eager to hear me cover this and talk about this. So here it is. We are going to be talking about NICOLA Bulley tonight. And it's going to be like a broad stroke in everything because I'm still learning about it as well. I'm trying to catch up as much as I can. This is something that's been going on since like January 27th, 28th. So I am a few days behind a lot of other content creators that have been covering this story and talking about this and doing an amazing job with it. Okay. So I am just getting started, just getting warmed up. And for those of y'all who are brand new to this story and this missing persons case as well, maybe this is the perfect time to get hip to it. And so that you guys can understand a little bit too. Because some people are saying it's an interesting one. It's a wild story. It's crazy, so on and so forth. And we'll see. I mean, we're going to go through the basics of it. It's basically NICOLA Bulley 101 for today because there's so much to cover. And I'm not going to be able to cover it in one show. All right. And of course, I may be doing a late show after this show to cover something else on another case that I've been keeping my eyes on with, and they have some more developing information on that too. So without further ado, we got to get things moving and get things on and popping. So do me a favor, if you haven't done it yet, hit that like button down below. Send those likes past 300 likes as you guys start to file in. All right. It'd be greatly appreciated. And do not forget to crush that subscribe button. You know for a fact your boy's working hard out here in these streets to give you the information and the conversation that you need for the day. Okay? That'd be greatly appreciated. Anyway, let's get into this thing, shall we? We got things to do, many miles to go before we sleep. Okay, a little Robert Frost for you guys. Anyway, isn't it Robert Frost? I think it's Robert Frost. Anyway, or is that Ralph Waldo Emerson? Whichever one it is, you know the quote. All right. So we got to get into this, and this has to do with something across the pond, y'all. This is going on in UK as we speak. A 45-year-old woman by the name of NICOLA Bulley has been missing ever since January 27th when she went out walking with her dog. Allegedly, she was on a phone conference and she just up and disappeared. She just up and disappeared, guys. And of course, there's been new information as of recently, okay? There's been some crazy updates as of recently on this case. And of course, we're going to get to that, okay? But first, we got to get into basically the basics of everything, just so we can kind of understand what the heck is going on with this story, Who, where was she? What exact, all the details, all the gory details. I think we all need to know that as well. So let's get into some of this, okay? And this is basically a timeline of what happened with NICOLA Bulley. And this is NICOLA right here. Okay, she is a mother of two. She has a partner, not a husband, but a partner. They have two children together. She was out on a walk again, walking her dog, and suddenly, poof, she disappeared. There have been speculations and obviously theories and all that revolving around the. Of course, they are revolving around the partner, but also there are theories about maybe she slipped and fell into this river and all that. But there's some new information about the river and the divers looking for her and all that. It like I said, it is just a gang of just very sad information so far, and I'm hopeful that there will be some sort of positive results here very soon. But we have not heard anything good so far. But we got to get to the beginning, because this is my first time talking about this woman, and talking about this particular case. So we got to get cracking. Let's get into it. So, of course, this is a full list of events and clues so far, from phone to diver search. Okay, NICOLA Bulley vanished. Let me pull this up a little bit more. There you go, a little bit better. NICOLA Bulley vanished while walking her dog on January 27th, leaving her family in agony as they search for answers. And of course, I got video clips, I got all kinds of stuff. So we're going to be getting into this and going through as much as we can in this show, okay? But of course, as more information comes out, as there's more developments and all that, for a fact, I'll be watching as much as I can and giving you guys updates on this particular case, okay? But like I said, this is across the pond. So information may come late to me because they're 7 hours ahead, right? I think they're 7 hours ahead of me. So things might be weird, and information and updates might not be right up to date when it comes to this. Okay, guys? Just so you guys know. Now, Kimberly in Japan, thank you so much for the 500 yen super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know this is something that you guys have all asked me to cover, so I'm giving it to you. Okay? Because I love y'all, and this woman deserves as much light under the sun, just as much as the story I just covered a few hours ago about Michael Corey Jenkins, Tyree Nichols, Shanquella Robinson, man, all the stories. Okay, the Idaho 4, so on and so forth. Okay, so let's continue. So, of course, the family, of course, is trying to find answers to all this. So, despite a mammoth police hunt, there's been no trace of the missing mom of two. And, of course, again, this is NICOLA Bulley. Officers believe NICOLA, 45, fell into a river as she walked her Springer spaniel, Willow, at St. Michael's in Wyre, Lancashire. Now, I'm hoping I'm saying these places correct and all that. I'm not trying to muck it up, okay? Trying to be as respectful as I bloody can, okay? So, I don't live in the UK, so please be kind, all right? So, specialist divers have now pulled out of the search, which is wild to me. As far as the new updates, specialist divers have pulled out of the search after saying they did all they could to find the mortgage broker. Now, to me, this is unacceptable. And we just got 10 minutes into the show, but I just want to talk about that really quick. You're telling me that the divers that are supposed to be, the best of the best, or one, out here that specialize in doing this, are now sitting here saying, we wash our hands clean of this. We're done. It's over. We're good on it. Thanks for the time, but yeah, we're done. Doesn't make sense to me at all. Okay. I think it's unacceptable. All right. Absolutely unacceptable. Police will continue their efforts to find Nicola as the mystery surrounding the case deepens. Now, here's how her disappearance unfolded. So, January 27th, she began to walk her dog, or she began to walk along a towpath to River Wyre at 8:43 a.m. after dropping her two children off at school. Police say around 7 minutes later, a dog walker who knows Nicola saw her walking around the lower field with her Springer spaniel, Willow. Okay? The witness said their two dogs interacted briefly before she left Nicola via the river path. At around 8:53 a.m., the mother, or Nicola, sent an email to her boss at Exclusively Mortgages. She then logged into a Teams call at 9:01 a.m. and was seen around 9 minutes later on the upper field walking her dog, Willow. Police say at 9:30 a.m., the work call, ended, but Nicola stayed logged on. That's weird. At around 9:35 a.m., the mobile, the cell phone, and Willow were found at a bench by the river, but there was no sign of Nicola. She was reported missing, and the Lancashire police launched a probe. Okay, that's so within the same day. Okay, and that's the thing. I know that there's been talks of maybe foul play within the husband and all that, and we're going to be checking out an interview from the husband as well. But it's still, of course, instantly when you're going into an investigation like this, we have all learned nowadays, it's quick. They are quick to look at the loved ones. Instantly, you look at the loved ones. You look at the boyfriend, the girlfriend, the husband, the wife, whatever it is, right? Quickly. But this is just a strange situation that to me does not scream foul play from the partner here. It just doesn't. Okay? And also, it was quick. There was no delay. There was no wait on the day. There was no days of the partner waiting several days to report her missing. As soon as she went missing that day, as soon as they noticed that she went missing, she was filed as a missing person. Okay? That's just something that I've noticed. Sometimes, we had that other story, Anna Walsh, right? The Brian Deterred, as I like to call him, okay? Dumbest criminal in the world. He waited 3 whole days before he actually filed a missing persons report. And the only reason why he filed a missing person report was because his wife's job called them first. And then he goes, "Oh yeah, she's missing. If no one said anything, he would have waited, right? But when it comes to this, it was instant. They noticed that that she was still logged in on this particular phone call, this conference call. Her phone and her dog were found tied up. The dog, was tied up onto a bench, and instantly she was reported missing. No dead air. Okay, full on dedication on trying to find his partner, Nicola. Let's continue. January 28th, drones, helicopters, and police search dogs are deployed as part of the huge missing persons operation. The Fire and Rescue Service, Boland Pennine Mountain Rescue Team, and the Northwest Underwater Search Team also lend their services. Despite the massive search, there is still no trace of Nicola. January 29th. This is the next day they were doing this. They didn't find anything yet. Then 2 days after she was reported missing, January 29th, volunteers meet in the village hall to organize a search for Nicola. Around 100 locals, which shout out to those volunteers. Hell yeah. 100 locals help out as police urge them to exercise caution. Of course, that makes sense. You never know what you're going to find. And obviously, as they say, the officers describe the river as being extremely dangerous. Okay? But still nothing then. Of course, still nothing to this day, but still nothing at this time. January 30th, Superintendent Sally Riley says police are keeping a really open mind about what could have happened. They confirm Nicola's disappearance is not being treated as suspicious. Nicola's partner of 12 years said her daughters, 9 and 6, were desperate for their mom to come home. Speaking at the family home in Inskip, hopefully I'm saying that right, Paul Ansel said, it's just perpetual hell, utter disbelief. And I don't blame what Paul is feeling right now, okay? All we can say is we need to find her. She's got 2 little girls that need their mommy home. We have got to get some good news now. And that was, excuse me, and that was on January 30th. Now we're on January 31st. Police speak to a potential witness seen walking a white fluffy dog, a small white fluffy dog, near the River Wyre when she actually vanished. Her family released a statement saying they had been overwhelmed by the support in their community. They also said Nicola's daughters were desperate to get their mommy home safe. And of course, you know, you can only imagine what this family is going through, okay? Just sitting there hoping and praying. Just hoping and praying for their family, for their daughter, their sister, their mom, their partner to come home, right? Now, this is a video that I wanted to show you guys. It's an interview with the family. I think the parents and her sister speaking out, and I wanted to share with this with you guys as well before we continue on in this timeline, because this interview happened almost a week ago. Okay, so I want to keep up. All right, I want to keep up with things. All right, yeah, and I'm reading the article, so they say mummy, not mommy. Okay, just so you guys know. All right, they're saying mum, they're saying mummy, and all that. Okay, so I'm just reading what I see. All right, but let us continue here. Okay, let's take a look at this. Hit the number 1 so you can hear this. All right, or hit the number 1 to let me know you guys can hear this. Let's rock and roll.
I just can't, if I'm being honest, it feels like I'm just stuck in a nightmare. We're going round and round in circles trying to piece together what could have possibly happened. And we've just got to keep such an open mind with everything, because we just have no idea where she is. It's like she's just vanished into thin air. There's no evidence to point us in any direction. Obviously, my hope is that she's still out there. Something's happened and she's, I don't know, needed to take herself off for whatever reason. And we just want a home. We need her home. Her children need a home. It's just absolutely heartbreaking.
Only for you, what's the last week been like as a father?
It's been very difficult. As from last Friday morning to date, it's just been so painful. We're such a close-knit family. We talk to each other, both our children, Louise and Nicola, and the children every day. There's not a day goes by without talking to them. And this has just emptied our lives at the minute. We just feel so empty. You know, we appreciate everything that everyone's doing to find her. The police have been brilliant. The local community has been outstanding. And it's just comforting from that point of view. But at the end of the day, we just want her back.
And yes, I want to say this really quick. Yes, it has been about 2 weeks or so now, just about. I mean, give or take. And she still hasn't been found. And of course, imagine what this family is going through. Imagine what this family is feeling right now. I can only imagine how they're taking this information. Of course, this is a mother that loves her children, loves her partner. A day doesn't go by where they don't talk to their daughter, where the sister isn't in contact, where they're not in contact. It sounds like a very tight-knit family. And out of nowhere, she just vanishes out of thin air, right? And we're going to be talking about the river here in just a second, but because, of course, there's theories that she may have fallen into the river and of course, got swept off. But there's still it's just so wild to me. We're gonna get into it, but let's finish. Let's play a little bit more of this. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, this whole interview, but you can at least get the idea of how close and how much that they love their daughter and their sister, and they're trying to get her home as soon as possible. Let's continue.
On that point, you know, the community spirit has been unbelievable in a very small village. How much has that helped you, knowing that people have come from far and wide to help look for your daughter?
Massive. It's been massive. We've really appreciated it. And everyone that's been involved doing the sweep search of the fields, etc., it's just given us hope that someone might find something that could give us that little clue to what might have happened.
We just need something. We're nearly a week on tomorrow, and we're just going around in circles. It's like something's got to have been missed. There's got to be, somebody must know something. Somebody must know. People don't just vanish into thin air. There's got to be somebody that knows something. And all we are asking, no matter how small or big, if there's anything that you can remember that just doesn't seem right, then please reach out to the police. Please just get in touch and get my sister back.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Obviously, if there's any information out there, because it's still an unsolved mystery. It's still an unsolved situation. They don't know how she disappeared. They don't know where she went. They don't know how she disappeared. That's one thing that they're still trying to figure out right now as we speak. Okay? And it's crazy. And the thing is yeah, Raven McCall, I pray that she's not in the river too. Shoot. But why is law enforcement so convinced she's not in the river? See, that's the thing that doesn't make sense either. There is conversations about that as well. We're going to talk about, Raven and everybody else, we are going to be talking about this water and this river here very, very soon. But still, imagine they're still looking. You have a dive team, specialists, basically like an Adventures with Purpose. I know that might not be the popular title right now, given the history and the name, the man connected to that YouTube channel, but at the same time, a Adventures with Purpose like team that was out there going through this river, and they gave up. They threw in the towel. They said that they were done. And of course, people were up in arms, right? People were just absolutely lost with this situation. How can they just chuck up the deuces and say, we done? That's the part that doesn't make any sense here. But let me play a little bit more from this family. We're going to get into the meat and potatoes here. So sit tight. Let's rock and roll.
I was going to ask you that, Lou. What is it you want to say to people watching this, wherever they're sat, wherever they're watching from, on their phones, on the tellies? What do you want to say to people in order to help you?
Well, just if anybody knows anything, just just let us know. Just, Nikki, if you're bloody out there, just let us know that you're okay. We can sort anything out. We just want you home. We just want you home.
Yeah, my approach to this is that for the public to search their minds or anything that they might have seen, doesn't matter how significant it is. If it's something that they think might not be interesting, it could be, and inform the police that that they've seen something. But the main thing is that you know, we want to find Nicola, get her back home. There's 2 young children there waiting for their mummy to come back. And we feel that we want her back, obviously, also. But, you know, if Nicola is out there, if she is watching this, then all we'd like to say is just come home, contact the police, contact ourselves, and we just want you back.
One thing on covering this story and speaking to people right at the very heart of it, and everyone harks back to this, is that there are 2 beautiful girls at home, Nikki's kids. You know, how difficult is that, knowing that the daughters are there without a mum?
It's there. Obviously, their little minds are trying to process. They don't really understand. None of us understand, to be honest. But we've just got to try, and when there's children involved, you have to carry on. You've got to get through every day, and that's all we're trying to do.
But they know her mum is missing. But they know that she's going to be coming home. And this is, everyone's looking for her. So it's only a matter of time that they're thinking in their minds that she's going to walk through that door.
What happened on Friday morning was, started off as what seemed to be Nikki's, you know, daily routine, really, dropping the kids off at school, taking Willow for a walk. It all seemed quite normal. How do you feel about the fact that this has happened, and it isn't Nikki, in a way, if you get what I mean? It's not her, it's not normal Nikki.
No.
What's happened? How does that make you feel?
Well, we don't know. We just haven't got any answers, have
No,
we? We just don't know.
She's done this 1,000 times. Drops the children off from school. A beloved dog, Willow. She loves it to bits, that dog. She'd do anything for the animal. She parks the car in the school car park, walks across past St Michael's Church, through that little lane, up to the open field, and that's where she does it every day in, day out. There may be days where she misses, but if it's not her, it's Paul. And it all revolves around the point that they've dropped the children off at the school. But it's just routine.
I want to say something really quick. This also screams to me, Eliza, oh, that's going to drive me crazy. Eliza Fletcher. I'm correct. Yes. This screams Eliza Fletcher, a potential of Eliza Fletcher. Remember, her dad just said she has a routine. She had a thing that she and Paul had a routine. Every day, at least Monday through Friday, like clockwork, they went and they dropped off their kids to school. It was routine. Without a shadow of a doubt, she would go and do that. Then she would go and walk her dogs, so on and so forth. So she had a routine. Now, I don't know if you guys remember Eliza Fletcher, but I reported that a while back. It was a woman that was going out for a run. She would do this run every single day. She was training for the Boston Marathon, if my memory serves me correctly. In the middle of her run, she's just straight up taken on the side of the road by some monster, right? Of course, they found her days later. It was an absolute tragic situation. But what happened is you have somebody who's lurking in the background, all right, following that person's everyday routine. So I'm just saying, I'm just throwing out the possibility of it being a situation like that where maybe she didn't fall into this river, that maybe she was just snatched because somebody was watching her. It is a bit strange, but that's a possibility here, y'all. Eliza Fletcher. This could be an Eliza Fletcher situation. It could be. Or she could have tripped, fell into the river, and that's it. And it's just that tragic. But the phone was left behind. Her dog was left behind. And we're going to, like I said, we're still going to be talking about the river and the dog and all that stuff. But I just wanted to show you guys a bit of that. I wasn't going to show you the whole interview. But that last part that you heard was very important because that could be a piece of information, a very important piece of information, that she did what she did like clockwork, right? It was a routine. It was a daily routine that happens every day. And maybe someone saw her, maybe it triggered somebody, God forbid, in that nasty, disgusting, unthinkable way. And that person, that monster, that piece of work just started lurking. I hate to say that, but it could be that situation. We're going to go back to this timeline, but I wanted to give you guys that little piece of information before we start diving on in, all right? So let's continue on with this timeline, all right? Now, of course, the daughters, the family, you just heard the family, they just want to get her home safe. February 1st, her parents, they talk about their fears. Her own parents, Ernest and Dot, talk about their fears. Somebody has got her again. Ernest said the family dread to think they will never see Nicola again, as he does not know how they'll deal with that for the rest of their lives. Speaking about her children, he added, "We don't know how long we can keep going before they realize that they think their mom isn't coming home soon. But if it keeps going on and on, I don't know where we are going to go or what to say to them." Now, just think about that. That's, again, she has two babies, basically, two little kids. So imagine them having to speak to them about a harsh reality of their mother maybe never coming home at all. And I'm hoping that isn't the case, right? I'm hoping that this is something different, right? I'm hoping that they find her around the block and hopefully unharmed, right? So, February 2nd, a second witness is identified by police. Police urged the woman dressed in a red coat to get in touch before later questioning her. Nicola's family wept as they issued a heartfelt plea for information. Sister Louise, told Sky News, "If I'm being honest, it feels like I'm stuck in a nightmare. We're going round and round in circles trying to piece together what could have possibly happened. It's like she just vanished into thin air. We just want her home. We need her home. Her children need her home." The phone lines are not open, so please do not call in. Please don't. You do that. Okay. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but that was obnoxious. Do not call in. Phone lines are not open. Okay? Thank you. I'm in the middle of my show. I'm in the middle of giving this big old timeline, y'all. Do not call in. All right? I will not pick up, and you will be blocked. Do not. All right. Where was I? Her children need her home. It's absolutely heartbreaking. February 3rd, the police holds a press conference and confirms their main working hypothesis is that Nicola had sadly fallen into the river. Okay? So, Sally Riley said there may have been an issue with the Willow, the dog, that led Nicola to the edge of the water. Now, to me, what? Because and this is a part. We're going to be getting into the edge of the river and talking about the river stuff and all that stuff. Okay. And the thing is like, how is this happening? How? What did the dog do that would drag her over to the river for her to possibly fall into it? Right? Think about it. I mean, unless it's an unruly dog and it's really sprightly, right? It's really energetic, and it just really wanted to get to the river for some odd reason. Maybe it saw a squirrel. I don't know. Whatever it is, and this Willow really wanted to chase whatever it saw. Maybe that's a possibility, but at the same time, let's keep it real. The dog was still tied to the bench, right? Now, I've heard other stories that somebody else tied the dog to the bench, that the dog was found loose without a leash on, and somebody tied the dog to the bench, the same bench where this phone was sitting on. That's what I've been hearing as well, okay, that I've heard later on through this timeline and all that stuff. That maybe she was trying to get this dog to chill out. I don't know. Maybe she was trying to pick up the dog. She slipped and fell in. That could possibly be it too. But still, the possibilities are endless here. They're absolutely vast. We don't know, right? And so Louise just said here too, dog was loose, right? It was loose, and allegedly someone came up and tied the dog to the bench. That's why they later on found the dog tied to the bench. But somebody went up there and tied that mother lover to the bench. Crazy. Now, of course, you're just seeing a loose dog running around. You tie the dog. I get it. Maybe you know the dog, right? It could be somebody that knows the dog, knows who the owner of that dog is. Maybe this tied the dog to the bench because they said, well, F it. They're probably around in the area. There's their phone. I'll just tie them to the thing so the dog doesn't run rampant. Maybe. I don't know. But somebody went up and took the dog that was loose and tied him to the bench. Strange. Still strange. Okay. But let's continue. So you never know. She may have been trying to catch the dog, slipped and fell into the river. She could have just been over there looking at stuff and just lost her footing. Anything is possible, and then she fell into the river. If we're looking at solely the river theory, right? Well, let's continue, shall we? So, the officer also confirmed that there was a 10-minute window where they cannot account for Nicola's movements. This is between 9:10, the last confirmed sighting, and 9:20 a.m., when Nicola's phone is believed to have been on the bench while connected to a work call. To me, it screams something else, but I don't know, y'all. Okay? To me, it screams something else. And I will say this, Kirsten Wright just said, but she was a good swimmer. Well, let me say this. You slip, trip, and hit your head, like wrap your head on a rock, let's just say, you ain't going to be a good swimmer after that. So that's the only pushback I would say. It's good information to know that she was a good swimmer, but what if you get knocked upside the head? You ain't swimming. I hate to say it like that, but you ain't. Okay? You ain't swimming. You could be the strongest. You could be Navy SEAL. Okay? You could be Goggins up in this biznai, okay? Suck it, brother. You could be that and then get your head and you could get knocked out and All those hours of swimming out the window. Just saying. Okay. So, good theory, but still, or good information to know, but still, if you slip, it's a wrap. Okay. It's a wrap. Now, let's continue. She also gave Alyssa clothing Nicola was last seen wearing, including an ankle-length black quilted gillet jacket. Now, I don't know how heavy and thick those jackets are. Okay, let me see. Sorry, I'm just pulling this up so we can see this for ourselves. So we can see the oh, it's ankle length though too. So this could, let me just show this to you guys real quick. You see that, right? These are just, this is just what I'm seeing here. Okay. Now ankle length, I mean, these are just various kinds, but I mean, when you have something like that and you are in water, okay? I'm just saying. It's a little I could see that getting tangled up if depending on how deep the river is and all that, and you're trying to get yourself out and it's wrapping around you. I could see that being a very, very big problem, especially when you fall into some water. Okay? Especially deep water. Again, depending on how deep. And also, you got to remember how rapid, how vicious the current in this river is. You never know. Okay? But wellness, Sarah, exactly. It could limit mobility 110%. It could very well do that 110%. Okay? MEA, thank you so much for the 2, but her phone would have fell in with her. Now, that's a good point too. But let's talk about it, shall we? There's 2 different choices here. There's 2 different options. Well, there could be maybe 3. First, she was on a conference call. Maybe she had some earbuds on while she's doing the conference call. A lot of times when I'm on the phone, I'm using earbuds. I don't like holding the phone up to my ear. This gets very uncomfortable. My arm gets stiff. You start, especially if you're on the phone for a long time, this part, like the armpit of your elbow, you feel me? Okay? The armpit of your elbow starts to sweat. It gets really, really uncomfortable. Okay? So that's why I wear and then your whole body starts to sweat because you're holding up the phone and you're doing this with the phone and everything. It's terrible, right? So I use earbuds all the time. What if she put the phone on the bench, having a conversation via earbud or via speaker, having this conference with them whilst letting her dog run free, letting him stretch his legs, get out there in the wilderness, be one with nature, right? Because it is a dog. Then went to go try to get the dog, slipped and fell. But the conference was still going on. And then she fell in. They didn't hear anything of that. Okay? Maybe, that could have been it. Or, and of course, there's that theory of decoy phone. They're saying the decoy phone. All right. Or the person who nabbed her, one, either didn't realize that didn't care about the phone because they didn't really need it, right? Because they're there for her. Or 2, purposely left it there so that they couldn't track her movements anymore. So those are the choices there. Okay? Those are the choices. Either she fell in or she was snatched. And while she was in, the moment of this snatched moment that happened while she was on this phone conference. Those are the only two options. Either foul play happened or there was an accident, a tragic, tragic accident. And again, she was wearing an ankle length black quilted gillet jacket, which could weigh you down if you are trying to swim or trying to, tread water. Okay. That could weigh you down if you don't take it off of your body quickly. All right. That can get away from your feet, from kicking, all that stuff. It could be bad. Okay. Or I forgot, you're right. One more thing. Or there's another option here as well. Raven McCall is very, very right. And I hate to say that because, we don't ever want to think of a mother wanting to walk away from their kids. But at the same time, you have to put that option out there. Maybe she just picked up her ish and walked. Well, not picked up her ish, but she just set the dog free, put her phone down, and walked. That could be it too. But again, nothing's been confirmed or denied. So anything could be possible here. Anything. Okay? But a mother and especially someone who dotes on her kids, loves her family, doesn't go a day without speaking to them, suddenly just up and leaves like that, that is odd and heartbreaking if she was to do that. I don't think it's that part, but there is that option and it needs to be put on the table. So we got to keep it real. We got to keep it funky. Okay. NICOLA had a black Engelbert Strauss waist length coat underneath the gillet and was wearing black tight fitting jeans. She had long green walking socks tucked into her jeans, ankle length green next wellies, a necklace, and a pale blue Fitbit on. Now, there's something interesting about those Fitbits. Aren't they kind of GPS? Don't they have the GPS feature on these Fitbits? Or is that only just with the Garmin's and stuff? If you're a runner and all that, like you get these Fitbits or these Apple Watches, they can GPS your ish everywhere you go. And obviously, if she was walking her dog, she may have been using that dog as walking the dog as part of her getting her 10,000 steps in type thing. So that's something I would wonder if this Fitbit had some sort of GPS feature on it. And I see Blessed in Texas just said, and thank you for the comments. She said some have it. So maybe they do. Okay. Dory just said, my Fitbit Sense does that. Yeah, so maybe she has that. So maybe they saw it, but maybe they're able to track that down. I don't know. But let's continue. February 4th, her sister says there's no evidence behind the police theory that that NICOLA had plunged into the water. Louise wrote, off the back of the latest police media update, please, can I add, there is no evidence whatsoever that she had gone into the river. It's just a theory. And of course, all of this is theory so far. Okay. But of course, the family's going to sit there and go, no, we don't see it. We don't see it. We don't see it. Right. Everyone needs to keep an open mind as not all CCTV and leads have been fully investigated. And it's apparently what the police confirmed. And they said that the case is far from over. Emma White, a friend of NICOLA's, also rejected the police's theory. All right. So we're getting closer to present day. The police speak to another witness, a woman seen pushing a pram near where NICOLA vanished. CCTV is released by NICOLA's loved ones, showing the mother on the day she vanished. Snaps from NICOLA's own Ring doorbell show her loading her car outside her home just hours before she went missing. Interesting, right? Very interesting indeed. Now, I got to show you guys another video. So let's rock and roll.
This was NICOLA Bulley on the morning she disappeared. with her dog Willow just visible in the boot. These images are from the family's home security camera. It shows the missing mum wearing the clothes she was last seen in, preparing to drive her daughters to school. That was 10 days ago. And her family are desperate for answers. On Saturday, like us, NICOLA Bulley's family spotted a police search helicopter above the village where she went missing. Her partner Paul shared the moment with Sky News when their youngest daughter Sophia saw it too from the car window. NICOLA Bulley's daughters, Harriet and Sophia, are 9 and 6.
We're all a group of mums. Most of our children all attend the same school.
They are girls full of questions about when they'll see mummy.
It's hard for them. They've got all the same emotions as everybody else, and they want to see the mum, and they don't know where she is, and they just desperately want a home. And I guess that's all they're asking all the time is, where is she, and is she coming home? Yeah.
Today, the local church held its usual family service. Friends tell us they're trying to keep things as normal as possible for their missing friends' daughters, like taking them to the school disco that went ahead on Friday night.
Life has got to go on for the sake of the children, doesn't it? And the children force us to carry on sometimes. And so while that was happening, lots of the parents came here to church when we began this, and we'll keep the candles lit for as long as it takes.
It is now day 10 into the investigation into what happened to NICOLA Bulley, and the search continues to be focused around here, the River Wyre, where she was last seen walking. Today, her family and friends have told us that even now, they still have hope that she will be brought home safely.
Look at this river really quick. I mean, just take a look at this. And I'm going to kill the sound here, but as she's talking, I mean, I know this might not be the best representation of this river. And look at this, though, too. Just the side, the banks, all that. Kind of interesting, right? So let's just play this a little bit. And of course, one, it's pretty damn steep right here. Now, I don't think that this is exactly where she was or where the dog was found, right? But if it's anything like this, I could see somebody tripping and rolling, right? Look at this. And I'll play it again. I'm sorry. But look at this. Look at all this here at the bank, on the banks. You're telling me that she went all the way out there where the dog was and then fell in? It just seems a bit like it just feels a bit like a stretch. Okay? To me, it feels a bit like a stretch. That she would just tumble into this river, and then on top of it, look at the river. Let's play that. Look at the way that the river moves. It looks like it's raining a little bit, so that's where all the ripples are going on. But at the same time, it doesn't look like it's like whoosh. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to play this last part, but I just wanted you guys to see the river for a little bit. That's just wild to me. It doesn't look, yes, Blessed. It doesn't look that deep. I see a bunch of you guys saying that it doesn't look steep, and it looks like it's pretty still. Now, it could be very underneath. There could be an undercurrent that we don't see, right? We don't see it up on top, but underneath, it could be just ripping and roaring, maybe, right? But it's a bit weird, right? But let's continue. Let's see what else they got to say here. Come on.
Continues to be focused around here, the River Wyre, where she was last seen walking. Today, her family and friends have told us that even now, they still have hope that she will be brought home safely. The police's main working theory is unchanged, that NICOLA Bulley fell into the river. As they search, The Lancashire force also condemned what they called speculation and abuse on social media aimed at some people who are merely assisting our inquiries. They appealed for witnesses to keep coming forward and help provide much longed for answers. Catherine Fatozzi, Sky.
Okay. But as you can see, there's a lot going on here that I still am scratching my head and still trying to understand what the heck is going on here too. There's a lot here that doesn't make sense, but at the same time, let me show you guys this them going down this river, the cops going on this boat, okay? Let me just show you this one more time. Because you can see, I mean, there's movement. There's definitely movement in this river. Oh, there's definitely movement in this river. So if she did fall in a spot that may have had a current that was strong in that particular area, that is possible. But then also, you never can underestimate the possibility of someone getting knocked out when they fall into the river. That could also be a possibility. And then, of course, because she doesn't come too quick enough, whatever, she could succumb from the water and then her body just be washed out, right? Or dragged underneath. So this is very weird. You know, it's a strange situation for sure. We're still trying to figure this all out ourselves, but let's continue on. Now, February 6th, SGI, Specialist Group International, began their search of the river using sonar equipment. Now, this is when we get into the realm of the Adventures with Purpose type guys. Okay, these guys are special skills. Okay, there are Liam Neesons. All right, they out here with a special set of skills to go in and hopefully save the day and solve this mystery. Right. The team is led by expert forensics Peter Falding and offer their services free of charge. Amazing. He later claims Nicola's phone found by the river is a decoy. Now, I don't understand exactly what that means. And that may be going with what I was saying before. They left the phone there to lead the scent off of, if there is foul play, that the decoy or the phone was left behind to throw people off, to think that she fell into the river, straight up, right? At least that's the way I see it as far as a decoy, right? Again, I could be wrong, okay? But I'm still learning this story and this case with all y'all as well, right? And I know some bullet points, obviously, but I don't know everything. But as far as the phone found by the river, why does it make me think the phone down by the river? You know, like living in a van down by the river. But anyway, they find this phone by the river. This particular gentleman, who's part of this SGI group, is saying that this phone is a decoy. All right? So let's continue. He also suggests a third party could be involved. In other words, foul play. As I think we all have been thinking. Okay? Radiant Dove, thank you so much for the $2 super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Okay? The decoy is only there to throw all of us off. Throw the 5-0 and everybody off their scent so that they can, let's just say, waste their time combing through a river and spending all this time out by water when they should be looking for, you know, a creepy looking van that likes to give away ice cream or something. You know what I'm saying? A creepy van or a weird truck, something of that sort, right? So that could be it. Throwing them off, throwing the do-gooders off the bad guys' trail. Okay? February 7th, police say they have probed every criminal element as they remain fully open-minded over her disappearance. Now, Riley said The force has not yet detected a suspicious element in her disappearance. I don't get why they don't see anything weird about this disappearance. I don't get it. That part, I'm like, what? There's a phone that was left behind. Her dog is out there chilling in the cut. And you're still sitting here going, well, you know, there might not be anything suspicious. There might not be any element that might be weird. It's like, no, there's plenty of weird elements here. It doesn't make sense. What is the cops? What is 5-0 not catching here? To me, it says clear as day, something's up here. Something's weird. But I digress. Let's continue. She added this is what Riley added. Every third-party element or criminal element has been looked into and discounted. Now, I understand. Let me say this too really quick because, you know. There's a lot that 5-0 knows that we don't know at all, okay? I'm just some guy in America on the other side of the pond, chilling, okay? And just telling the story, right? Reporting the news and giving you guys the information that you need. I don't know everything, and I obviously do not have my finger on the pulse of what 5-0 is doing over there in this area and revolving around this case. I'm sure there are plenty of elements they have looked through and have debunked. This is the same thing. This is the same situation I would say when it comes to the Idaho 4 situation, right? All of us were crazy with our theories and our thoughts and all that stuff, understandably. But there was a lot that 5-0, we were sitting there going, we were really quick to sit there and go, 5-0, why aren't you doing this? And why aren't you looking into Jack S and Jack D and why are they all being discounted? Only to find out that they're really looking at BK, right? So it's the same thing here. Maybe they're saying these things out in the public because they don't want everybody to know what's up their sleeve. Maybe they are watching somebody. Maybe they do think that there's foul play and they're not telling us anything. They're just playing dumb. They're just being dumb. You know, oh, we're just going to play the stereotype of just, you know, witless coppers, right? Maybe. Because they don't want anybody to make any drastic choices if they find out that 5-0 is hot on their trail. Maybe. Or maybe they really are just saying every third-party element and criminal element has been looked into and discounted. And that's it. It could be either or. It sucks. I wish things were a little bit more ironclad here. But they ain't. Not, at least for not right now. Okay? Bobbies. Oh, I got to learn some more British terms. Real talk. I'm probably going to be learning a lot of them during covering this case for sure. But moving on. The officer also warned amateur detectives from trespassing in empty properties. And she hit out at dive expert Peter, saying clearly Mr. Falding isn't included within all the investigation detail any more than the members of the public are that I'm briefing through these sorts of press conferences. So he's just out in the dark too. Yet he was out there doing his due diligence out of his kind heart and on the free 9s and 9s. And they're still sitting here saying they still weren't working and cooperating with him. We saw this with the Kylie Rodney situation too. I get it. They want to be the one, you know, catching the big fish or being the big hero, but it's a collaborative effort. It's a collaborative energy, right? That's how it's supposed to be. So for them to sit there and go, oh, yeah, we didn't tell it. They're just in the dark, just as in the dark as any other civilian out here and news and press. That's not helping finding this mother of two. That's ridiculous. But anyway, Maria D, I want to say a big thank you for gifting 10 people Pascal Show family memberships. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Welcome to the family, me, you. Hold on. Me, you, Dory Dorkerson, Penn Dizzy, Yuki, Amanda Roy, Kathy Buttram, Ashley Oakes, Malia Carr. Hello, Malia from Down Under. Anna Tirado. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Becca has thoughts. Maggie Normal. Thank you guys. Welcome to the family. And give Maria D a whole bunch of purple heart emojis in the chat. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so very much. That's very, very kind. Welcome to the family to all you guys who have just become family members. Let's move on here. So that seems a little bit weird. You'd think that they would work together diligently and dive into this situation and try to find this young woman, right? This mother of two. But they're holding things out on the diver too, which makes no sense. It came after he told a couple news outlets he believed NICOLA is not in the river, and even asked her partner if she had any enemies after fearing she had been abducted. Now, what's interesting is, like, you know, she ain't Drake. You know what I'm saying? It's not like she's out here going, got a lot of enemies. Like, it's just weird. Like, it may not be an enemy situation. Real talk. It just doesn't make any sense for him to ask the partner that. To me, it don't make sense to do that. To me, what makes sense is to look into the situation and find out what's going on and find this mother. Period. Okay? The dive team dramatically called off their search, saying they had done all they can. So they went through the river. That's it. They said, we done. So he told reporters, wherever she is, I hope closure comes soon. All the family are clearly distraught. Discussing the search process, or the search progress, the dive leader said, there is simply no sign of NICOLA near to where she vanished. He explained, we've cleared completely the area where the bench is and about a mile up from the bench where the phone was initially found. But isn't it about a 3.5 mile stretch of river? So you're telling me that you did all of it? You only did a mile up from where she was left? She could have been going, depending on this stream. And sure, you may not believe that she's even in this river, but do your due diligence, bro. You did a mile? A mile? Okay. I'm asking y'all. I'm asking y'all. Real talk. Do you think that's enough search? And that makes me wonder, how long were they out there for? Hold up. Were they out there for like 2 days? Yeah. They were there starting in February 6th. And then they pulled in and they were there for maybe a day, y'all. Yo, they were like there for like a day. That's lazy. That is laziness. Okay? He just said, yep, no sign, so we're done. Yep, wherever she is, hope the closure comes soon. See you guys. Deuces. I need a donut. You need a donut? Let's go. Like, that's ridiculous, y'all. That's ridiculous. Rachel Greenberg, thank you so much for the 20. Late to the show, but finally caught my first live. Thank you for all you do. No problem. And thank you so much for the $20 super sticker, the highest in the room. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. It really does mean a lot. Okay. Yes, I was seeing the same thing, Elisa, that this river leading into the sea, right, is about 3 to 4 miles. Now, I don't know how far away it is to that outer, going out into the sea and all that, but still, that's 3 to 4 miles. And they only did a mile. That's lazy as hell, y'all. That is lazy as hell. Good luck. You know what I'm saying? We've run the side scan sonar from here down to the next bridge, which is about 3 or 4 miles away. And there's no sign of Nicola in that particular area. Okay. We've done very thorough. Let me pull this up. We've done very thorough searches all the way down to the Wyre. I'm totally baffled by this one, to be honest. He also admitted he was glad his team haven't found her. Because obviously, if they found her, that would be a devastating piece of information, right? That would be very, very bad news. So in his mind, he's like, this is great. This means that there's still a possibility of her still alive and breathing, that she's not submerged somewhere in water, tangled up by some dead branches or something like that. She could still be alive. Now, it's wild to me that my mind is still blown about it just feels like the lackadaisical approach to this situation. You have a mother of 2 that has a partner that is trying their damnedest to get their partner back home, to be a mother to their children. I know that there's a lot of people that are wondering what's up with the husband or the partner, and all that. And I get it. But still, there's a lot of questions that have not been fully answered here. Where is she? Why was her cell phone left behind? Why was the dog tied up to the bench? What's up with that? Those are the questions that I have in my mind. Because obviously, there's this situation. This situation seems a bit odd. So much that, of course, we got to get into this piece too. Chilling theory. NICOLA Bulley's dive expert fears missing mother was taken and asked partner if she had enemies or lurkers. And I got to use these code words, unfortunately. It's just how it is. And I'm telling you right now, you leave a phone behind. The phone is left behind. They went through the river. Now they're out. They have gone out to sea, as far as I know so far. They've gone out to sea. Now they're trying to see if they can find her out to sea. But that phone and the dog being where he was, where Willow was, definitely says to me a possibility of foul play. This could very well be a thing where somebody used this as an opportunity to leave her phone there, leave the dog there, and he was running around free, apparently, to let everybody believe that she just fell into this river and it was a wrap. And she just disappeared. She just washed out to sea. But they were very quick to report her missing and start searching for her. You're telling us that she wasn't going to be able to find her remains if she had submerged in water by now? Seems a bit strange to me. Sarah Crockett, thank you so much for being a member for the past month. Welcome to being a newbie. I appreciate it. She said in a members chat, the major difference that I'm impressed by is LE law enforcement actually encourages media, online, digital researchers to collaborate, not to hush everyone. Now, and that's good as long as it doesn't get sloppy. That's the one thing I'm worried about as well, because you know for a fact they are going to go, as soon as you start hearing foul play, I suspect foul play, everybody and their mama is going to start diving into their background, into their relationship. They're going to start sitting there going, why weren't they married? Why are they just partners? What's up with Paul? What's his story? So on and so forth, to the point where it'll get so dismantled that we'll forget the real reason why we started talking about this in the first place, which is bringing this woman home safely, right? So I can see it being dangerous when you start going, yes, online sleuths and media and everybody, reporters, come on in. The water's warm and just fine, right? I could see that being very dangerous because we've seen some crazy stuff. We've seen people make up stuff, fake-ish, fake audio, fake documents, all that stuff. It has been insane in the membrane. So when we see something like that, it does make me a little cautious. But it's good. They want everything. They want as much information because they got nothing, right? There's a little bit of CCTV footage and all that, but that's it, right? That's literally it. It's crazy. So I just hope that when they say that they tread lightly, because you know for a fact there's going to be people calling that hotline every single day because people are starting to become very invested emotionally in this case. And we all want the same thing, obviously. We want her to come home, period, point blank. Home, safe, to be back with her partner and her 2 beautiful kids, right? But this is the diver, all right? And I know he's getting a lot of flack right now. I've been knowing he's getting a lot of flack right now. People are very upset about how he was like, I'm done. It's over. We did our stuff. Bye-bye. Instead of, we're going to keep going until we have no other options left. They could be out with 5-0, searching the sea, but they're not doing that either. Or he and his team, SGI, are not doing that either. So I could see people getting very upset with with this man right here. But he said, he revealed he had spoken to Nicola's partner, Paul, last night, or according to the reporting of this article, which was on the 7th, so 2 days ago, okay? So he had spoken to Paul last night after yesterday's search, offered no trace of Nicola. He told the Mail Online, I spoke to Paul last night and I asked him if she had any enemies, any lurkers, the normal questions you would ask, and nothing. He said no. And of course, I'm sure he didn't know anything. She goes off and she does her own, she goes and drops off the kids and she's walking the dog like a regular routine thing. You never know who's out there, any lurkers out there that might be triggered. You never know. We live in some crazy times, y'all. And she was totally normal the day that when she left, nothing out of the ordinary. A forensic expert also claimed that there is a possibility that Nicola could have been taken. I think we're at that point now. He believes the phone that was left behind, which was found on the bench after she vanished, could be a decoy. He told BBC Breakfast Today, if Nicola is not in that stretch of river today, my view is that there's a third party involved and there was a decoy placed by the river. Okay? So, and you see it right here under the must read in the Sun. It says Nicola Bulley, dive expert, reveals video proof she didn't fall into the river. Okay? Reveals video. Let me see. Because that's new to me too. And Cesar, thank you so much for the 5. Buenos noches, señor. Buenos noches. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Gracias. Gracias, gracias. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Okay, so he says clip shows the river is slow moving. Boom! See, this is exactly what I'm saying too. The river is slow moving, which means she would have sunk very quickly. He claims this means Nicola would have remained near where she disappeared on January 27th if she had fallen in. The forensic expert also says the missing mother could have simply stood up in the water, as rocks at the time were under just 2 feet of water. And again, if she was to hit her head, so much for swimming or standing up. If you are submerged in water and you are passed out and there's no way of being woken up if you hit your head, then yes, you are going to be succumbed by the water, right? Your life is going to be snuffed out. But he's saying that she would have quickly sunk to the bottom of the river. She would have been found. They would have been able to see her like that. Then the other thing too, we didn't really talk about this as well. And my thing is still no matter what, if his theory is correct or not, I feel like he should still be doing. He should be like, hey, I'll look out to the sea with you guys, or I'll do one more pass, something like that. But it seems very callous that he was like, yeah, she ain't here. Good luck, and he just kick rocks. I think that's messed up. Okay. But let's talk about the dog here, though, too. Okay. The dog, from my understanding, Willow was not tripping. Willow was not losing his mind. He was not whimpering. And you'd think that a dog, because I got dogs, and they could be nightmares. Okay. They're yappy. They're in your face, but they love you. They love you like crazy, right? Now, when it comes to this, if I leave my dogs even just for like 5 minutes, they're losing their doggone minds. This dog, apparently, from my understanding, was chill. Wouldn't the dog be yapping and losing its mind, whimpering, crying, angry? You know what I mean? Barking, let's just start there, at least. But allegedly, the dog wasn't doing that either. So it is weird that there was no commotion when whatever happened to her happened. And exactly, Raven, I agree. Dogs lose their freaking minds, man. Okay? Lose their freaking minds, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to their owner. They will lose their minds. And apparently this dog was not losing its mind. Penn Dizzy just said, the dog tied up with twine by Park Karen, apparently. There was a leash next to him, but she tied him up, called her sis that went back and untied him, apparently. Yes, I heard that same story, that there's a Park Karen that just really hates seeing dogs unleashed out by this river. Apparently she's a nightmare. She saw the dog, got the dog, and tied him up with a rope to the bench. Now the question is there connections here? Could this woman, this Park Karen, have anything to do with the disappearance of NICOLA Bulley? We don't know, right? But still, nonetheless, where is this mother? Where is she? Now, Joshua Russell says, Joshua Russell says at 9:15, Willow was barking with three people. Okay. So then he was barking, but then after that, seems like it just kind of died out. Maybe he got tired. I don't know. Okay. I don't know this dog, but it seems strange that it just didn't jump into the water maybe and try to save his owner. I don't know if she went into the river. That is, of course. Okay. But this is what we have so far. This is the information that we know of so far. Obviously, there's going to be more information here as time goes on. The dive team went there, did whatever they needed to do. It's up to you if you want if you want to call that hard work or putting in their due diligence or not, but they literally cashed in their chips and walked out and said, she ain't here, and just kick rocks. So it really is up to you on if you feel that they did enough work or not. To me, I feel like maybe they didn't do enough, in my personal opinion. And there's still a lot of questions that are still just screaming at me that have not been answered. And then I also want to know what the heck is going on with 5-0 out there. They have literally said all the elements that they have looked into, all the ones that are screaming red flags to me. They're literally sitting there saying, we've already discounted all those things. We're not, like, they're not even entertaining the idea of this being a possible taking situation, snatching situation. That just seems weird to me. And hopefully they really are. Maybe they're hiding in plain sight and showing that, not trying to show all of their cards right now because they don't want the bad guy to know that they're maybe hot on their trail and all that. But still, it is a situation that seems a bit weird to me. And I hope they're playing poker face right now. That's what I'm hoping. SW4x4 Explorers, thank you so much for the 5. If I fell in the water or was taken, my dogs would be wackadoodle. Absolutely. They would have gone in the water and chased a vehicle. So confused. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. This dog would have been in that water, swimming back and forth, standing by the river, barking into the river. Everything that they could do, whining, barking, all that stuff. Okay. I just, and maybe the dog did go into the river, but from my understanding, this dog wasn't wet. But of course, we'll talk about that in another show for sure. Okay. We'll talk about that in another show. All right. But guys, that is the show for this one. All right. I appreciate all y'all for being here and being a part of the conversation. Of course, I wanted to bring light to this story because this is a crazy and devastating story. There's so many pieces to this that, I just gave you very, very broad strokes to this story. Obviously, if there's more information, we will talk about that as well. Universal Cases and News said you're correct. Willow was dry. See what I'm saying? I feel like if she was in the water, he'd be all up in that water. He's a Spangle, right? Yeah. And from my understanding, don't they like water? Spaniel? Don't they like water? That breed of dog? But then again, there's plenty of... I'll say this, though, too. There's plenty of really nice Rottweilers out there. You think that they're going to rip your face off, and there's some teddy bears out here. There's some teddy bear Rottweilers that go completely against what you think a Rottweiler is supposed to be. You feel me? So I don't know. He could be very scared of water. You never know. You just never know. Okay? A dog's still a dog, right? And a dog still has its own personality too. This may be a dog that loves just getting all up in the water or not at all. So we don't know. Well, we will never know until we get more information out here. But I gave you guys just at least a broad stroke of this case. Wanted to make sure you guys got that because there's so many other stories that I'm still on top of, other cases that I'm still reporting to you guys. Obviously, I'm going to be giving you guys some updates about those as well. But I did want to bring this in before it got too thick. All right. And this has already gotten thicker than a snicker. So I wanted to make sure that I gave you guys the information that you needed, at least at the base of it. Blessed in Texas. Thank you. Blessed in Texas 1216. Thank you so much for the $5 sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Also, again, to Maria D. Thank you so much for gifting 10 members some memberships. I really do appreciate that. Again, welcome to all welcome to you all that have become members of this channel. It does really, really mean a lot. It helps keep the lights on this show. So thank you so much for your support. And for those of y'all who are members, for your continued support as well. And also y'all who tune in and hit the like button and chat, because without you guys, I'd be talking to a wall. So I do appreciate that as well. I may be on in just a short while for some more information on another case that I've been covering. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I go live, because it looks like I will be back on live very shortly. So be on the lookout for that. Don't forget to hit that like button down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You know your boy's working hard out here in these streets to give you the conversations, the stories, and the information that you need for the day, night, or whenever you watch this show right here. Anyway, it's time to get going. Appreciate all you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys probably in the next 30 minutes. All right? This is The Pascal Show. Bye.